Hi, I'm Colton. I'm just an average, ordinary guy in a wheelchair who's lived up into my mid 30s. I'm around 34. I just want to tell some people some story. I know the world is pretty dark right now, but I believe anything's possible in this world. And with this channel, I just want to try to give some people hope. I've been through a lot, and luckily for me, I have found faith in God and Jesus. I'm, I'm not pushing religion on anyone. I'm just saying, in crazy times, it has really helped me. With this channel, like I said, I'm just trying to give some people hope and just show people what's possible and how even if you think you're going through some hard times, there is ways to look at life even when you're in your bad times and be happy. Because even with all the craziness going on in the world, right now I'm the happiest I've been. I have did the normal life. I had a later start to life, I believe, um, because my life has been kind of crazy. I'm in a wheelchair and I have cerebral palsy. I've had to have around 15 surgeries, some major, some little, but I've learned over time that for me, with God and Jesus, it has made life a lot easier, and and with them, I can be happy even when I was going through major pain. One time I was in the hospital for over 6 months dealing with a healing of a back surgery, and I thought the world was ending. I had major pain and I have major pain all the time. I deal with chronic pain. But I've realized even with that, it can get better. Um, with my chronic pain, I've had to be on pain meds and different stuff, which now, as I get healthier, I'm finally starting to be really healthy where I am being able to get off of the painkillers slowly. And hopefully by June, I'll be off. And so once I got through all of that, that was around 27, I decided to try what we have been told to try. Go to school, get a degree, which which is crazy for me. They told me I was always in special ed and stuff, and I graduated with a 2.8 from high school, even with dealing with all of the surgeries. Um, and they thought I couldn't even get an associate's degree, which I started at a community college, and I was able to graduate with an associate's degree in computer information systems, and I was able to graduate with a 3.2. And then I moved on to four-year university and got the four-year degree in information systems, and I graduated that degree with um, one of the lower honors. I was able to graduate with about a 3.73 GPA. And I've just noticed with like the job market and everything, it's kind of crazy. And luckily for me, going through community college and doing the four-year degree, I only came out with around 10,000 in debt, which hopefully I'll be able to pay that off soon. I am looking for a job, but we'll see how that goes. You know how the market is right now, especially for tech and IT. But I just wanted to let everyone know. I think I've realized in my 34 years that happiness is a mindset. I mean, I still get depressed and anxious and not happy, but I've realized you can you can be happy even in bad circumstances. I think most people think you have to be super happy all the time, which I've realized is not true. Because as I look back on my life, even during all those surgeries, I still had some happiness. For me, like I said, that comes through faith in God. And with this channel, I really do not want to get political or anything, and I'm trying not to, but sometimes I might talk about it. And honestly, with this channel, I really do not know where I'm going. I'm just starting with this video, and then, because I am into a lot of things like sports, tech, and stuff like that. So we'll just see as this channel grows. And so, like I said, I've had 15 back surgeries. I'm in a wheelchair and I have cerebral palsy. But even at that, I've had a couple of jobs. I've worked in a coffee shop, mostly at my high school, so it didn't pay very well, but it still paid good, okay. And right now, I'm on Social Security disability, and that's where I feel blessed more than some people because I at least have some money coming in. It's not great. It's enough to live right now, but like I said, life could always be worse. And I just want to let everyone know, especially people with disabilities, even at your darkest moments, don't give up because I think eventually it does get better as you go through life. And I've learned one thing is as you get through a sickness or go through a sickness, because for about so like I said, I got through the surgeries and was able to go to school and do the degrees. And while I was at my school, I worked in the IT department of my university, which I realized it was an okay job, and I enjoyed it because I got to meet some cool people and work on computer problems, which I don't mind. Um, but I've just realized life takes crazy turns, and like I said, I got to the when I was during the back surgeries and being in the hospital, I did not ever think I would have a normal life or a job. And then fast forward, I was able to get the job and work in IT at my university and make good money. Especially, I was able to buy stuff I wanted for a while, but then that job came to an end, and now I am here and I graduated. I got a degree, just so you guys can see. So it is possible to do anything if you put your mind to it and you believe. And like I said, I get a lot of my strength through God and Jesus, and I'm going always give it up to Jesus and God, but I'm not pushing it on you. I just want to tell you how great they have made my life and how even when I think I'm in a bad spot, they are still taking care of me and leading me. And that's honestly why I'm creating this YouTube video and starting this channel. And honestly, it's more for me and for other people just to see that it's possible, even with disabilities and with hardness in life. You are able to keep going, and life changes over time. Some good, some bad. And that's just life and the journey we live on. And another thing I've learned to be happy, yes, look for the destination you're going, but also enjoy the journey. Because, and I don't want to be one of those guys, but I'm just saying, for me, I've learned to enjoy the journey, even in the bad times. And when you are in a bad time, I know it's hard to think about, but once you get through it, that's when you can look on your strength and how you got to the next step, and you can look to where you are now and be happy and be like, whoa, I was strong and I got through it. And I have learned you just got to work through hard times. Like for a while after I had the disability and had to have all the surgeries, I was really depressed, anxious, and scared and was just looking to the destination of getting through it. But I realized during those times I met some great people who are my friends now and was able to just live life. Even being in a hospital, I still met some nice people, some nice doctors, some nice nurses. and was able to see the strength I have. And that's what God and Jesus have shown me, that everyone has strength, even if they don't know it. And life does get better. But the hard part, too, is you never know where you are in life if you're in a. And sometimes you don't even realize a good time is a good time until you eventually look back on it. Like for a while, I would be hanging out with friends, and it was a great time. But I didn't realize how great those moments are until I got older. And that's what I'm saying. Try to enjoy the journey. Even though I would have some bad times at that job, I also met some great people and had some great experience and learned a lot. And another thing is, I, I encourage you to always try to learn at least one thing every day, which I learned from a coworker. And he had a hard life too. I'm not going to use names or anything, but he was from Afghanistan and he came here and he was happy to just be here. And that's what I've learned. Life can always be harder or worse. And that's where I'm not saying compare your life to anyone, but um just think about the happiness and that you can get through stuff. And like I said, for me, religion has really helped me get there. And just praying and getting through all of that for me, that's how I know that God and Jesus are real because of how much they have gotten me through. There was times when I was in so much pain I couldn't think of anything, but like I said, they would help me get to moments where I met some nice people and was able to take my mind off of it. So all I'm saying is just believe and just keep moving on, and eventually life does get better. And with this channel, like I said, I don't really know where we're going. I eventually want to maybe do some podcasts with some people in my life and just talk about some subjects. But like I said, I'm really trying not to get political. But there will be some discussion of how faith has helped people and has changed their life. And I encourage you to just find what makes you happy in this life and just believe that life gets better because I do believe it does. And you might not even realize life has gotten better. Like for the longest time, I didn't realize that my life had gotten better when I was going to school, even though I was all stressed out and I was working that job. But life was so much better than the times I was in the hospital or had to be um, in the bed. Because from like, so I'll get into a little bit and maybe we're going to explore it more in other videos. But for me, from like age 14 all the way to like 27, I was mostly in my bed for 8 hours a day. Of course, I would go out and do stuff and go to like YA, which was a young adult group for church, which that's where I met a lot of people and really came close to God. And around 21, I was suicidal, and I and that's when I really went to church and I really got through that and I learned life is too precious. We're it's like only I don't know the number, but I know it's over like 10 billion people have been on this earth, and you are one of them. And everyone's special in their own way, and you can touch people's lives. Like I didn't realize that I have touched some people's lives that have told me, and I have given them strength by what I've been through. Which, and you never know that until they tell you or you look back on. And so, like I said, I have came through a lot, like the 15 back surgeries being suicidal. And there are still bumps in my roads, and maybe we'll talk about them more in other videos. But I just want to use this video to tell you about myself a little bit and how I'm starting the channel. And just, if you want more from me, just just let me know. And if you ever hear something in a video, comment, or you can reach out to me through the comments right now. Eventually, maybe we'll come up with other ways to get in contact. I do have an Instagram channel at the same name, Normal Guy in a Wheelchair with Faith. But and I'm open to it. And if you are negative, I probably won't respond. But I just want to start by letting people know that life is hard, and a lot of people have been through a lot of stuff, but just keep pushing on. And I honestly encourage you, if you don't really have faith, to maybe look into it. I'm a Christian, which not everyone has to be a Christian. I'm just saying, look into faith. I really do think it will help you. It has changed my life for the better. And so, and I just want to keep this video short and just tell you a little bit about myself. And I am going to try to post like twice a week, but like I said, I am still trying to get healthy. Like I have started working out and doing other stuff, and I am looking for a job. But even if I do find a full-time job, I am planning on trying to post at least once to twice a week and just tell you my journey, because, like I said, I am really trying to enjoy the journey of life more than the destination, and I think that's the most happiest people I know are the ones who enjoy the journey rather than just look for the next achievement or next getting to the next step in life. Um, right now I'm single, and honestly, being in a wheelchair, I have always been anxious and shy about dating or asking people. I have been hit on a couple times, which is cool and all, but I honestly am just not in the right space to date or anything. If the right person comes along, I'm open to it. Um, but I just want to tell you, life gets better, and Jesus and God have really helped me. So if you want more, and if you want to explore more stuff with me, please subscribe and maybe like the video. Maybe it helps me grow. And like I said, I don't want to be a giant YouTuber, but if it happens, that's great too. But honestly, like I said, coming into this video, if this video just helps one person, I'll be happy, or helps bring one person to Jesus and God, I'll be happy, or to even another faith too. And like I said, I'll try not to keep it political, but yeah, just have a great day. Thanks. Bye. Thank you for watching. I just want to say sorry if it seems like I'm nervous. This is the first time I'm doing this, and hopefully, as the channel grows, it'll get better. And sorry about the audio. As the channel gets better, the audio will get better. And like I said, I just want to go a bunch of different ways. I don't want to like put myself into one thing. I want to do like podcasts, maybe review movies and show you my favorite movies and talk about sports. So we'll just see where the channel grows. If you enjoyed it, could you please subscribe and like the video? And please share it with anyone you think it will help. Thanks. Bye.